All right, guys, so we are reading through the Book of Mormon. We are on chapter 13 through 15. We just finished those up. I'm going to give a quick review as to what I found as I'm reading here. So the next topic that's coming up within the chapters of 1st Nephi is that it appears very clearly Mormons believe that there's only one true church. There's a church of the Lamb of God, and then there's a church of Satan. And it's pretty obvious when you're reading through the book who this church of Satan is, the way that they're describing it with jewels and everything. They're pretty much using the imagery of the great whore of Babylon in the book of Revelation. It sounds like they're referring to the Catholic Church. But anyways, anyone who is not a Mormon or does not go to a Mormon church, according to this book, is not of the church of the Lamb of God. And I believe that this is one of the fundamental reasons, on top of a lot of other things, as to why those who are in the Church of Mormon will not leave that church, because if they leave it, then they feel like they're just going to the church of Satan afterwards, right? And they get that here from Nephi chapter 14, verse 10. It says, "And it came to pass that he said unto me, Look, and behold, that great and abominable church, which is the mother of abominations, whose founder is the devil. And he said unto me, Behold, there are save two churches only. The one is the church of the Lamb of God, which would be the Mormon church, and the other is the church of the devil. Wherefore, whoso belongeth not to the church of the Lamb of God belongeth to that great church, which is the mother of abominations, and she is the whore of all the earth." Right there, this book is claiming that they are the only true church. Now, here's the thing. When it comes to going to heaven, you don't have to specifically be in a Baptist church in order to get to heaven. I'm a Baptist. Specifically, I'm an independent fundamental Baptist. I grew up in a Pentecostal church. I've went to almost every denomination possible that I could find, because I wanted to figure out what they believe before I picked one, and I became a Baptist. When you go out soul winning, you go door to door, what you will find is that there are people who are saved that are in many different churches. And check this out. I found someone who was saved and they were in a Mormon church. However, they did not believe Mormon doctrine. They were in a Mormon church because they grew up Mormon, but they got saved and they were a school teacher. And the school teacher, I asked her, I was like, well, why are you still in that church if you're saved and you don't believe that? She was like, well, I'm teaching all the kids so that they can all get saved themselves. I was like, wow, that's crazy. But anyways, I found people saved in all different types of denominations. Now, if you believe the doctrine, the core doctrines of those denominations, I would say more than likely you're not going to be saved, because a lot of them teach faith and works, or that you can lose your salvation, which is also pretty much what the Mormon church teaches as well. But the point is that you don't have to specifically go to a Baptist church in order to be saved. Now, if you want to get correct doctrine, I would definitely advise find a Baptist church and then fine tune it and figure out which Baptist church is good in your area and then go to that one. But this book here is basically claiming if you're not part of the Mormon church, you're not saved, you're of the devil.
The harvest truly is plenteous, but the laborers are few.